No, it's Yoko. Okay, so just do that. And now getting on into it. So thank you guys for tuning in. This is a Blaze Casting presentation, bringing you guys a game for DotaBro.com between these two teams here. One is going by the name of Jesus Christ, rather than 106K1, as their DotaBro name is, and the other one is going to be Yoko's Vagina, which is, interestingly enough, or no, that's actually the same one. Jesus Christ is Yoko's Vagina, which means the other team is 106K1. But one way or another, it'll work out, and we'll get on to the draft in just a little bit. As most of you know, this is a in-house tournament that pretty much is just a league that goes season by season. The December season will end in 3 days' time, at which point they will go into a $2,000 tournament, the top 16 teams in that league specifically. So going into these games, they are kind of wrapping up the tournament, trying to vie for those top slots or just have some fun and some competitive gaming. One way or another, though, we're going on into the draft with some pretty standard bands: Templar Assassin, Dark Seer, Magnus, and Batrider. The ones that are on the field as of note are going to be the Bounty Hunter, the Undying, the Jakiro, Nyx Assassin. All those heroes are going to be prominent in the high tier drafting space. Of course, everybody has their own little way of playing this game, and so with that they can have some unique strategies that hopefully bring some dynamic aspects to the board. But they're going to start off with the Bounty Hunter pickup, aka Gondar. He generally goes on the off lane solo and tries to survive as best he can so he can get that solo experience and get that track rolling. It's kind of pesky in the sense that he detracts monetary funds from the supports. They have to commit more sentry wards, more dust to try to bring him down. Meanwhile, he's giving much more gold to his supports and to all of his allies in general. He's going to put tracks down, which make allies much more... There's no better way to say it. I mean, they're just going to get more value out of each individual kill. Their kills and assists are going to help them out quite a bit. So this will be interesting going on in this game and seeing what these two got this going on. But one way or another, but interesting pickups coming on through. Sorry, I'd like to deal with chat and make sure that I'm interacting directly with you guys and not just, you know, talking my head off to myself here. I obviously want to be bringing the broadcast to you. It's not just for myself. I mean, if I want to talk to myself all day long about Dota, I don't have a problem with that. But as far as bringing you guys into the loop here, it's not just to show you the games and commentate, but also interact with you guys directly. So that's my role here, and I would really like it if you guys had some questions in chat I can answer, mechanics or opinions. I mean, whatever. I've played this game since early 2005, that kind of thing. Played since Reign of Chaos Dota, actually, a little bit, but mostly Frozen Throne. Anyways, but either way, if you guys want to interact with me directly, I'm perfectly happy with that. Doesn't detract from the stream too much, and that's always fun. But interesting pickups coming on through. The Rubik and the Keeper Light both are going to be played supportively, generally speaking. Rubik can play the solo mid, and would love it if that was the case, to see some really baller spell steals, but really not much on the board to take. Disruption's not too bad. The Death Pack would be interesting, as well as the Soul Catcher and Demonic Purge. But the biggest thing, I would say, number one steal on the board right now is going to be the track for Bounty Hunter. If Rubik can get that, use it multiple times over, he can detect Bounty Hunter, detect Clinks, and also get a ton of gold for his own team. So that's a really good counter pick in my mind, picking up the Rubik if you can get the track off. Otherwise it's not going to be as beneficial. But with Clinks running potentially either mid or on the off lane, he's not generally played as a farming carry, and with that, Bounty Hunter and Clinks are kind of unpredictable hats right now. So we'll have to see how they go on through, but Shadow Demon definitely going to be playing supportively for whoever wants to carry and play the number one role there. So that being said, we could be looking at maybe like a Leshrac pickup on the Dire relatively soon and kind of go from there, but they're going to secure their carry. Jesus Christ wants Luna, will go along with the Keeper of the Light, Rubik, and pretty much what they're going to do is pretty much have unlimited mana on Luna, allowing her to Lucent Beam like crazy. It's a 1000 range nuke, and with that, you don't even have to be anywhere near them to just throw them off the creep wave and say, get out of here. So it's a mini stun. The disable isn't really that valuable, but the nuke is always going to help. And with that, Keeper of the Light is going to enable her to do that quite a bit. It's pretty much like a Illuminate on a single target that you don't have to aim, you don't have to predict, it's just it's going to drop down, do some damage, and help her out. So that's very nice, getting some action in the Chakra Magic department, and of course that will enable Luna to not necessarily kill people, but force them off the wave enough that she can freely farm and not really have to worry about things. As far as the positioning in lanes, we're more likely going to be seeing Luna and Keep It Light on the bottom, and just forcing away the Bounty Hunter at any possible turn will always be great, and of course Keep It Light can then commit a lot of money to Sentry Wards. Of course, I said Bounty Hunter Clinks could equally be on the bottom lane, but we're probably going to see him in the mid just because they want him to get some gold. Alright, well, let's get this on going. As far as the bans go, it's kind of slow taking their time with it. We're munching into the reserve time just a little bit there, but pretty much the Nyx Assassin is all that we get out of that one there. They obviously didn't want to pick a third Invis hero for their own, so they're going to make sure that it's not going to support for Jesus Christ, because pretty much that would mean that Rubik would be going crazy in the mid lane, and that would allow Nyx Assassin to be all over the place as well. One thing is Nyx is very mana reliant, and Keep It Light complements that very, very nicely. I think Nyx and Keep It Light together are actually a really, really strong combo, because you can actually rank mana burn instead of just going for points into the Spike Carapace and just spam that like crazy. I mean, you can destroy Shadow Demon and all of his potential by making sure that he can't cast any of his spells. So that's cool. Let me address something in chat real quick. Bam, bam, bam. I swear this was here. Oh, it's under info. There we go. Alrighty then, so back on into it. Not too much has happened, so you guys didn't miss out too much, but a little bit of my rambling on about the same old picks, because bans, nice bans, but Lone Druid, Tiny, Chaos Knight, Jakiro, and the Chen have been taken off. It's odd to take out the Chen at this stage in the game. I guess they were worried about a jungler because I have so many solo and item experience reliant heroes, but they're gonna because they banned out the Chen, they didn't take off the board the Leshrac or the Lina, allowing Shadow Demon to set up a really nice combination. Shadow Demon Leshrac, setting up the Split Earth after the disruption will enable them to do so much damage no matter what other hero is in the lane. Heck, those two alone could just go for a crazy kill lane that could lock down a Rubik or a Luna hardcore. So that's something that they're gonna have to deal with, and we'll see how it pans out for them. But I do like the Tide Hunter pickup at the very least. They needed some strength, AoE initiation, and who better than the guy who can just slam the ground and have tentacles pop up all around him, so that's pretty awesome. But yeah, and Viper is the last pick. Holy crap, this team is weird. So they have 3 Agi carries. I mean, all of them can scale to a good extent. Nether Toxin propagates the Manta style, and also just the fact that if Viper is more survivable, he will get more auto attacks off that Nether Toxin can benefit. Along with that, Clinks has a huge amount of attack speed, a good static boost from creeps that allows him to gank and do a lot with the items he acquires from that. And then Bounty Hunter, who with his Janata and with his Track Gold, will allow him to transition in towards mid to late game very, very effectively. It's just scaling with crit and just getting that much more money on the field for himself, so that's cool. So then we have the last pickup for Jesus Christ. I'm kind of thinking they can pick just about anything. They're probably going to want to go for a hardcore solo mid, so maybe like a Queen of Pain. I'd love to see a Night Stalker just to silence out all these Invis heroes, but might not be the best option in their minds because they already do have the Tide to tank up the tower if they're wanting to dive. Nevertheless, it really depends on how they want to lane things. I think Tidehunter is going to be going for a solo safe lane, and then Keep It Light Rubik Luna can go on the aggressive tri-lane up top, but of course they can flip-flop that and have Tidehunter just kind of go 1v3 and survive as best he can with Kraken Shell, and that's not too bad either. So, we'll have to see about it. And they're going to pick up the Death Prophet. So yeah, Death Prophet's going to go for their solo mid. I like it. Again, I mentioned the Night Stalker because I like the idea of silencing the opposition so that they can invis, and Death Prophet adding with her W ability the silence is going to be able to do quite a bit with that. So I like that idea. Of course, it also gives a more item-dependent hero. They kind of wanted one that scales pretty well into late game, and Death Prophet is definitely one of those heroes. The more tanky she gets, the more damage she can deal with Exorcism. It's a ton of physical damage as the spirits just like home in on one specific target and just obliterate, and the longer she survives, the more they're going to do. So hopefully they can get a lot of farm on her and transition that into a very, very cool lineup that I'm looking for. I really like Jesus Christ lineup. I would say that I like the Dyers as well, but it's kind of awkward, to be completely honest with you guys. I don't think I would ever imagine to see this in a standard high-level competitive game, but, you know, if it works, it works. So we'll get on into that, and thank you guys for tuning in. So we got the Clinks on straightforward. He looks like he's going to be heading towards the middle lane. Bounty Hunter on the off lane with pretty standard items. Plenty of durability with the Stout Shield and some regeneration. Along with that, it looks like they're going to go for a tri-lane defensively up top with Leshrac, Shadow Demon, and Viper. Once that Split Earth goes down following the disruption, Viper has plenty of opportunity to slow down the opposition with the poison attack, and from there just deliver a real amount of pain. The fact of the matter is, Shadow Demon will be getting 2 illusions out of his Disrupt, and from there they can teamfight rather effectively. I also like this in the sense it's a good defensive tri-lane, but right now, is it 2-1-2? No, it's going to be Rubik up top. They're going to be going for plenty of wards on Rubik. Actually, looking at his net worth, he's sitting at 13 net worth. He's going full consumables, and just kind of going hardcore support there. Along those lines, it's going to be Fishy going to start things off, but the big idea there, get some Illuminates for damage, but get a lot of mana into Luna. If you get a lot of Fade Bolts, a lot of Lucent Beams going on through, it's going to deliver a lot of hurt, even to Viper, because he won't be picking up his Corrosive Skin for quite some time. So that'll be what you're looking at there. And that Papers, I guess they're squishy heroes. And yeah, Chen gets picked a lot in tournaments, but the issue is that his mana cost is a lot more substantial with the change to Test of Faith, so that if you want to send back an ally, you have to commit a lot to it. You have to get Arcane Boots, generally before Mechanism nowadays, and that can hurt you as well, as far as the fact that you don't get to rush him back like crazy. He's still effective, but he can get picked off just as easily as he ganks aggressively. So it used to be, if a Chen died, at least you still have his neutrals there, and it's almost not that big of a deal. But now that Chen dies and there's a lot more kill and assist gold on the board, it's a lot more relevant. It's a lot more like, oh crap, we just fed that much more gold to the opposition. So although he is a great aggressive hero as far as ganking in early game, he can also get completely destroyed unless he micros very, very effectively to make it worth it. So there's limitations to it, but he is still a very good hero one way or another. And I do like pro OP Donks Dota starting off with some nice last hit action, like actually perfectly timing it with denies and last hits. But here comes the disruption and the Split Earth down onto Rubik. He does pop the telekinesis, and with that Lucent Beam damage, shoot, he's going to get dropped down immediately. Now looking at Luna, look at this right-click damage just from her without the Lunar Blessing. She's actually going to bring him down. The Viper wants Yoko. Huge mistake coming out of Viper, as he just takes like 3 auto attacks and makes sure that he's going to die right here. 1 more auto, and that's going to be a double kill for her. 3 kills to start off on Jesus' spree here. So that'll be very interesting. On the mid lane, not too much happened. Hads owning up with 6 CS up on the mid lane. So that's rocking. He's going to go up to level 3, get some Crypt Swarm out. And the big thing that I really like about Death Prophet as opposed to Clinks in mid is she can push very effectively. Not only when Clinks moves to try to gank, push down towers with Exorcism and Crypt Swarm, but whenever she wants a rune. She has this bottle already, and whenever she wants a rune, just throw out that cone, knock out a full creep wave, and then all you have to do from there is just walk over to the room, because there's no creeps. The creeps are going to be following up on Clinks. He's going to miss out on experience if he leaves them to stay in the lane and invis over to the rune, and one way or another, it's just going to give a huge amount of advantage. In the meantime, Bounty Hunter versus Tide, pretty even. I mean, both of them are going to be happy to get level 6. That's pretty much all I can say about that. Nobody's going to really die. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. And yeah, Viper has a Stout Shield, so that will give some mitigation from auto attacks, but the fact of the matter is it only gives 10 block. If he goes for a Vanguard, the best part about it, I would say, is the Vitality Booster component, because he does really like to survive. The longer he survives, the more Nether Toxins he gets out, and the more Corrosive Skin active there is from anybody that's attacking him. So a lot of benefits from the Vitality aspect, but starting off with the Stout Shield right now, it's a lot of money to commit to an item that doesn't necessarily change the pace of the game. I would say, honestly, that he should rush a Mechanism, and that would help him quite a bit more, because he gets a lot of physical armor, and he already has plenty of magical armor. And of course the 250 HP heal, not too shabby. But in the meantime, just gonna kind of go back and forth, and straightforward, kind of pin down on the tower a little bit. He's gonna be looking for some kind of item, but right now 6 CS, he's barely gotten any gold, and that's kind of surprising for a Clinks with Searing Arrows rank 2. Gets a lot of bonus damage on, not denies, but on the last hits at the very least, and he should be getting a little bit more than that, but Ad's just doing too much. Has the 9 denies and is playing really aggressive, so that's nice. And Luna taking up 1,000,000 damage. I guess she's happy. She has Tranquil, she has Salve, she's confident, but she doesn't. One thing she doesn't want is for creeps to get underneath the tower, but inevitably it will still happen, and they're going to push out the lane one way or another. But interesting way, they're pulling over and over, pulling the Radiant creeps around so they can freely creep it up without having to tank it up. That's going to work out pretty well for them. But Viper has to watch himself. I like the skill build at the very least. Going the second point in Nether Toxin, and then going up to rank 3 poison attack, enabling you at level 5 to get the 0-second cooldown on it. Allows you to be very aggressive. However, it does mean that you're not getting corrosive skin until probably level 7. Okay, so we have Luna farming up very nicely right here, 18 CS, and if you look at the last hits in general, you're looking at a huge advantage across the Radiant. The top Dire is now at 14, and 18, 21, and another 21 are what Radiant has to answer back with. And of course, being 3-0, you can just look at a huge gold graph advantage. I mean, it obviously all came to its top right here, but now it's just smoothed out to a nice little advantage. And they want to go aggressive. They have this Radiant Ward, starting off with a Lucent Beam, but I don't think it'll set up anything, as Telekinesis is not that far of range. It's good, but it's not that good. And actually looking for Viper now. Oh, he auto-attacks him instead. But no big deal. Keep it light once it's set up and Illuminate. I think he should have gone 2 points in Chakra Magic, just to improve on his spam ability, allowing Luna to do this all that much more, and not be sitting at half mana yourself. But it'll work out one way or another. Depends on how much aggression they want to play with as far as getting hero kills. And look at this, pulling back with Telekinesis. There goes the Fade Bolt. Nice disruption to prevent the Q coming out from Luna. The Lucent Beam will not happen, but the Illuminate was just enough. And now the Lucent Beam goes down onto the Viper, which allows Fishy to pick up 2 kills in a row, giving him plenty of gold to work towards Boots, Flying Courier, which they already have, and then of course Mechanism. And now they're going to look for the tower. They have 2 points in Lucent Beam, so each hero does quite a bit of auto attack damage. And I love triple ranged tri-lanes alongside Luna, just because they're so powerful as far as just straight attack damage. But now, with Luna looking for this Bracer, she's going to be going for Drum of Endurance. 450 away from that, and then that'll be very promising as far as controlling mobility. Luna already has amazing base mobility. She has 405 with the 75 from Tranquil Boots. She's actually the fastest hero in the game baseline. So with that, Tranquil Boots being the fastest boost next to Travels, then you're going to be able to get a lot, since Drum of Endurance, and then later on a Yasha will come on out. She's practically 522 if she gets Drum Yasha after that. But nice Illuminate, doing a lot of damage to Leshrac, and with that Fade Bolt, oh my gosh! Luna goes up to level 6, and man, that damage, I feel so bad for that Leshrac. Under-leveled, level 2, only 511 HP to work with, and with that long duration Illuminate, I was complaining about the fact they don't have that many in Chakra compared to Illuminate at level 3, but he's landing every one, so it's always worth it. And with that, when you get those big Illuminates, it's going to be a big deal. Track goes on from Bounty onto Tidehunter, so with that, he will be able to maneuver in and out of the lane pretty effectively. But in the meantime, Tier 1 tower will fall, and as I look away, of course, he pops off the Ravage and goes, ah, man. Oh well, he popped off the Ravage, and you can just pretty much see he was low HP. Not too much more happened there. But Had's wanting to finish off Clink's not going to happen. Actually, it's pretty low now. There goes the Crypt Swarm, and one more auto attack. Oh, gets disjointed by the invisibility. 5 HP. Literally 5 HP, but it leaves the tower open to push at least. Or just group up as 4. I mean, they could 4-man Dota this no problem at all with the lineup they have right now, whereas 106k1, carry, or at least irrelevant in the early stages of the game, especially now that they have such a big disadvantage in experience. So they're scalable heroes, but they don't have that much presence right now, especially in the lane, and we kind of have seen that thus far. So yeah, Shadow Demon Leshrac is a really nice kill combo, but you're not just picking off one person and saying, hey, you die. Well, now they are. Big track, there we go. Get the track on the board. There is a first kill on the board for the Dire, as well as it being a track kill, but oh my gosh, Eclipse still going despite the disruption, so the splitter is missing, so Leshrac's certainly going to die, and looking for Shadow Demon as well. He has enough mana for one more Lucent, just needs the auto attack to finish the job. There is a Bounty Hunter invisible, but man, there's so much damage from that Illuminate, completely destroying everything. Fishy landing the big ones. So there we go, and we're looking for the Tier 2 up on top. Ravage will not be up for 70 seconds, but this is just such strong showing from CC. cheesy Jesus or whatever they are. Jesus Christ, I think that's what it was, yeah. But, yeah, otherwise just really nice action coming out from the Radiant team. So, Heads looking for a mechanism of his own. Surprised that Keep It Light didn't want it, but, you know, he needs a couple Divine Rapiers before he needs to worry about supportive utility, so we'll get that moving forward. Luna is playing so aggressive. She's like, your creep wave is about to be gone. I'm ready to kill stuff. So, diving past tier 2 towers at 8 minutes of the game, generally frowned upon, but in this case, I think it's panned out for them quite effectively. Yeah, this is just fun. This is a fun, I mean, it's admittedly kind of a stomp, but as far as just the dynamic aspect of these heroes, they're just doing so much. Looking for some detection, though. They don't have any detection as far as I can tell. Sentry wards on Rubik, and that's all they get to look at. So, in the end, Bounty Hunter looking for to just kind of scout it out, track it up, and fall back here. But everybody's pretty much full mana. Tidehunter has everything he needs, has Ravage up in 8 seconds. Did get disrupted up with that Illuminate. It will finish the job. Now, Bounty Hunter on the back end didn't even come out. He's hiding. Has the rank 2 Shadow Walk, which means the duration is just a little bit shorter than the cooldown, and with that, he can spam it. And I reversed that. The cooldown is a little bit shorter than the duration, so he can keep it up no matter what. Was the point I was trying to make, but down the bottom lane here, Rubik is getting some free solo experience, now has Spell Steal. Spell Steal, I'm actually curious what happens when you Spell Steal somebody who's never casted a spell, aka this Viper, but probably nothing. I've never really tried it. But anyways, the point I was going to make is that Viper has only one spell, his ultimate Viper Strike. So literally every time you cast Spell Steal on him as Rubik, you will always get Viper Strike, which is not really that bad of a spell, especially against like the Bounty Hunter. You can always lock him down, put a Sentry Ward down, Viper Strike him, you're good. Now Keep It Light finds out the Bounty Hunter, drops the Sentry Ward, a little bit more auto attack, needs a Crypt Swarm, it will land. HADZ, Hads, whatever you want to pronounce it as. We'll pick that up and then get some Arcanes from the Secret Shop. Little known fact. You can stretch it right out there. You just have to kill this one tree, and as soon as you get in this cranny here, you will be able to purchase from the Secret Shop. So, nice stuff there. Little tricks that always help keep the momentum rolling instead of, you know, having to wait to get that item. And now Exorcism will come out to guarantee this tier 2 tower kill. I mean, they might try to contest it, but good luck. That's what I'm thinking right there. Anywho, yeah, with the Illuminate, with the Exorcism, there's really no hope of that. And now the drum has finished, so pop off some drum charges for attack speed, movement speed, whatever you need it for, as she is now at 465 MS. Balloon. Clink's trying to do what he can, does get a Death Pact on a pretty solid creep, but only gets 15 damage out of it in the end. And now they're going to transition bottom. Tier 1 still standing, can't have none of that. They're going to take that down. Giroud, very wise to TP out to collect with his teammates. He has finally picked up his level 6. Still not casted a spell. Double damage rune for Heads as he bottles that up and is ready and raring to go for the next team fight. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily call any of the agility heroes on the Dire team 106k1 carries per se, but it's a very loose term in that sense. It's just that they can scale in some way. I mean, Death Prophet is a carry under that definition, and I'm fine with that, because really that's why we have the word hard carry, is when they're actually legitimately scalable. When you get some durability on Viper, when you get a heart and a butterfly on Viper, he's going to be crazy good, but I mean, I guess you could say the same about Vengeful Spirit, so it's a difficult term, but the fact of the matter is, he could play #1 role in a pub game, and this is kind of what we're seeing right now. Anyways, looking for tier 2, they've already taken down tier 1, and Bounty Hunter is already down to 1/3 HP. Dust has gone down, a movement speed from HADZ, and the Blink Dagger already up. Crypt Swarm barely misses, doesn't want to commit the Ravage. So with that, they'll just let him walk away. Man, so much movement speed coming out. They didn't even bother with the silence, that's hilarious. Witchcraft giving her 16% bonus movement speed, because he's like, screw that, I don't even care if they cast. I just want to kill stuff, and indeed they will. And speaking of killing stuff, Luna up on top lane, couple auto attacks, the destruction will come on out, maybe giving him the chance to TP. Yeah, she didn't lose him beam, she auto attacked. Thought she could kill him and fast enough, and did not actually know when the TP began. And based on that, she said, okay, well, he's got a full second left here, not so much. Bounty Hunter might get the deny on this, or any of the range heroes could. Yeah, the tower is below 10%, so it is deniable, but here comes the big Illuminate. There's the Ravage, beautiful Blink Ravage coming out. Crypt Swarm, Fade Bolt, whatever you need. Yeah, okay, there we go. And let's track just a little bit more. The Ghost should do it right here. Boom! And that's going to be a tier 2 as well. Looking for Bounty Hunter, just spamming it up, and they finally find him. Hiding as far as I can, and yes, there was a bounty on you, my friend. It was approximately 263 gold. So there we go. That is pretty much going to be the conclusion of the game. I'm going to call it now. There's no reason not to. And, oh, Joy Division. It's just barely on the arc of it. Oh, that sucks. Yeah. So that is working out pretty well for them. They have the mechanism coming in for the Death Prophet. Everybody's pretty much dead. They didn't get a shutout, 1 kill on the board. It was a track kill, so comeback, you know. But 330, not getting too much out of that. Only a race band and 4-man shield, so stacking that agi like a man. But yeah, I definitely want to highlight, somebody mentioned in chat, the benefit of an Aghanim Scepter on Viper. It increases the range and reduces the cooldown so much. 900 cast range, that's like a Beastmaster ultimate with Ags, and you have a 12-second cooldown on it with a duration of 5.1 seconds. So you can keep it up almost half the time on any melee hero and slow them down like crazy. It's like Demonic Purge, but awesome, because it's green and goopy. I don't know why they don't have a Geometry Sight for this guy just yet, but they saw the Shadow Walk animation at the very least. Anyways, but yeah, no, Viper, really good. I mean, you think, like, if you're the kind of person who thinks Ursa is OP in, like, pub games and stuff, just pick up a Viper. Like, seriously, you just completely destroy him. He can't do anything if he can't hit you, if he can't stand on top of you. Tiny, tiny circle of silence. Moving on forward, though, Clinks is looking to get that Orchid in about 25 minutes, and from there he will be able to silence one person and then die very rapidly. But Tidehunter going in, wants to get the Blink. 2 Invis heroes, no gem. No gem. Come on, guys. Let's finish it off, get the gem, win the game. There's a Sentry Ward on the cliff. I guess I don't want to commit the Observer too much work. There's a bounty going down. He barely gets outside of the range of the Sentry. Actually, I think he's still in the maximum range, but one way or another, he's taking a fall of the Anchor Smash. Rubik picking up the kill. Earn available on him if he wants to. Luna has friggin' Boots of Travels. No, just TP strong. I didn't look at his inventory appropriately, my bad. But Corrosive Skin actually slowing down Luna a little bit. Maybe giving him the opportunity to TP out. She's already been TP dunked once. But Jarode wants to man up. Here he goes. One attack. Yeah, he's got it. Oh, no, never mind. She has level 10 and 8,000 net worth compared to your 2,000. I guess there's a little bit of a difference there. Yeah, but anyways, sorry, if you guys don't like sarcasm, I'm sorry about that, but that's actually probably my best form of comedic relief there, so I'm going to keep going with it. Decider going on to decide the fight. I got a really good Ravage. I really love that Ravage on bottom lane. Like, that's just beautiful. It's art in motion. Dota is art in motion in general, but that one was a particularly nicely creative piece of art. Bounty Hunter coming up, stalking the jungle. He can probably, you know, get a couple neutrals out of this. Maybe. No. Just roaming. Oh, roaming in the wrong direction. That ward just went down. He is visible, ladies and gentlemen, and they are dusting him up. Gush will come on out, and I doubt that he will survive as a result. Track. Nice move, actually. Track does give a nice move speed, but Lucent Beam kind of shuts down that plan a little bit, and now we have Track on the Rubik. And a gem. But mostly Track. No, mostly gem. But it's going to help out giving them, you know, obviously they don't have enough money. So they only have like 2.2x the amount of gold of the opposition. Need some more EV money, please. If you guys, you guys are European, so you don't understand the whole Brazilian reference thing, but there's a lot of stuff on your Eastern and Western servers. It's like a lot of people make fun of Russians for being bad and not communicating well. Well, the North Americans do that to Brazilian players, but they still love the Dotas, and we'll kind of go with that as we look forward to Roshan being brought down here. A lot of auto attack damage coming on out. Like I said, there are 4 ranged heroes, all getting a nice amount of damage from that Lunar Blessing, so he's going to drop in relatively short order. And from there, the Agency Immortal and the BKB Drum Yasha Luna. Let's look at that movement speed, 465. Cap is 522, so all you need is, you know, like a Yule's or a Manta would help a little. You know, that kind of thing. I think Sanjin Yasha buffs it up too, but screw Sanjin Yasha. Clink's gonna farm it up on the top lane, having a lot of fun with that. Not really too much interesting going on there. And they're gonna push up, finally pushing for the tier 3. They have the Aegis, they feel they're secure, they only are up by 19 kills. But now they pop the Exorcism off, looking for the Bloodstone, not going to have it anytime soon. But here comes Link Ravage on 2, just barely 2. It's going to be 1, but Bloodstrax thinks he needs to face tank some Ravage action there. Exorcism just disintegrating that tower as Decider actually gets a lot of damage. Nice mechanism coming out from the Death Prophet, allowing Decider to stay alive. In the meantime, just a little bit of back and forth here. Rubik does not really, he tracked up one individual now on the Clinks. So Bounty Hunter and Clinks are both revealed, and there's going to be a Rage Quit from Shadow Demon. Not even a good game. So, there's that. Maybe need a pause because he's obviously disconnected. But yeah, Tier 3 is going to drop down not only on the bottom, as the racks have already fallen, but now on the mid lane. And good game, well played. They at least have some good banners here as they conclude the game and get shut out really, really hard. So gold graph again, very linear, very obvious how this game played out. And if you guys want to know how to stomp in Dota, check out these guys right here. No, I'm kidding. They 106K1 just wasn't on their game right then. I don't know if that's how they play standard, but they do have a 1548 rating, so I'm assuming they obviously have won a couple games at least. And from there, they have to have some good strategies up their sleeve. So hopefully we'll see them back again sometime in future DotaBro casts in better form, but right here, kind of obliterated. And I'm sure we'll cast some more of Yoko's vagina slash Jesus Christ, whatever they want to go by, as they had an awesome game right there. Anyways, that was a lot of fun to cast, even if I was just goofing around for half the time. That was interesting, and took them down. I like how these buildings still say. It's like the ancient falls, and they're like, yeah, we're guarding. Don't worry about it. Not even looking. Turn around, buddy. But, yeah, 106K1 stomped on over. No real way of sugarcoating that one. Road had a GPM of 174, 0, 4, and 1. And from there, they just didn't really need to get anything. They didn't lane as they needed to. The tri-lane of the Leshrac, Shadow Demon, and Viper would work in a 3 versus 1 situation rather well. But it was a 3v3 and they were not built for it, so they got shut down pretty hard. Really nice Illuminates from Fishy, but I would say an MVP, but all of them just played really well. So enough about that one. I'll move on to the next game and put on some music in the meantime. So thanks for tuning in.